Hello, night travelers, and welcome back to the Night Observer. This is a quiet place where weary souls come to rest, to find comfort, and to drift into peaceful sleep, while gently reflecting on the vast and mysterious universe that surrounds us. The bonfire is lit once more. We gather again in its soft glow, warming our hands and our thoughts as we listen to stories whispered by time itself. Tonight, we will not journey beyond the solar system, nor chase distant stars. Instead, we turn our gaze homeward, to Earth, humanity's beloved sanctuary. We will travel backward through time, watching our blue planet take shape, from a violent chaos of fire and stone to the birth of oceans that would one day cradle life. We will trace the quiet miracle of life's unfolding, from the first single-celled beings to humankind itself, and reflect on the wonder that you and I are part of this extraordinary story. Night travelers, return now to that still inner space where stars speak softly and time seems to pause. Adjust your pillow until it feels just right. Let your shoulders sink into rest and feel the gentle warmth of the blanket against your skin. Take a slow, deep breath. Sense your thoughts growing lighter and release it calmly, as though gravity itself has loosened its hold, allowing you to drift into a vast, peaceful ocean of darkness. Tonight, we will leave behind the noise of the present. Together, we will turn back the clock, not years, not centuries, but billions of years, to a moment when even the ground beneath your feet was only a promise yet to be fulfilled. Welcome to The Cradle of Fire and Mist, an epic story of Earth's formation. Let us begin by listening to the symphony of dust and light, the birth of the solar system. This is the tale of how perfect stillness transformed into a fiery storm, and how the smallest grains of dust became the foundation of life itself. Rest your mind and allow the music of the cosmos to carry you gently towards sleep. A symphony of dust and light, the silent cloud and the legacy of dying stars. Our story begins around 4.6 billion years ago. At that time, the region where our solar system now resides was nothing more than a quiet, shadowed corner of one spiral arm of the Milky Way. It was a vast cauldron of gas and dust, a colossal molecular cloud composed mainly of hydrogen and helium, sprinkled with countless tiny particles. This cloud was far from ordinary. It carried the legacy of ancient stars that had lived and died before us. When those stars ended their lives in brilliant supernova explosions, they scattered heavy elements, carbon, silicon, iron, into the depths of space. The cloud itself was bitterly cold, resting in a state so calm it resembled the deepest stillness the universe can offer. Then, without warning, that silence was broken. Scientists believe a nearby supernova sent powerful shock waves rippling through space. Like an unseen hand pressing gently against a velvet curtain, the wave disturbed a dense region within the cloud, causing it to collapse inward under its own gravity. That moment, the first subtle movement in a silent void, became the opening note of the great symphony that would one day give rise to our home. The storm within the protoplanetary disk. As the great cloud began to contract, a quiet but profound law of physics came into play: the conservation of angular momentum. It is much like a figure skater drawing in their arms. The smaller the radius becomes, the faster the spin. As the cloud shrank, its rotation gently but inevitably accelerated. The birth of the protoplanetary disk. Under this increasing rotation, the cloud slowly flattened, taking on the form of a vast protoplanetary disk, stretching nearly 200 astronomical units across. Picture a colossal, slowly turning disk of dust and gas suspended in darkness, its center growing ever brighter. At that heart, matter gathered most densely. Temperatures and pressures climbed steadily, preparing the way for the birth of a Lord of Light. A storm of matter. Within the disk, chaos reigned. Yet it was a creative chaos. Dust grains and ice crystals collided endlessly, caught in a perpetual storm. From these countless encounters, the first planetary seeds were born. Fine dust adhered to form grains of sand. Grains became pebbles. Pebbles merged into rocks, and rocks grew into massive meteorites, each step guided by time and gravity. When the light appeared, the birth of the sun. After nearly 50 million years of gathering mass and energy, the center of the protoplanetary disk reached a delicate and decisive threshold, the nuclear awakening. Deep within this newborn core, pressure and temperature became so extreme that hydrogen atoms were forced together, igniting thermonuclear fusion and forming helium. In that instant, a tremendous release of energy surged outward. Light pierced the surrounding dust for the first time. Our sun had come into being, the cleansing breath of the solar wind. As the young sun began to shine, it did more than illuminate the darkness. It released powerful streams of charged particles, the solar wind, which swept through the disk like a cosmic broom. Excess hydrogen and helium were driven away into interstellar space, leaving behind a clearer environment where planets could continue to take shape. At this early stage, however, the sun glowed at only about 70% of its present brightness. The boundary between fire and ice, the frost line. The arrangement of planets in our solar system is no accident. It is shaped by an unseen but decisive boundary known as the frost line. Survivors near the flame. Close to the sun, heat was relentless. Volatile substances, water and light gases, could not remain solid or liquid. Only materials with high melting points, such as silicate rocks and metals, could endure. This is why the four inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are small, dense, and rocky. The realm of the icy giants. Beyond the frost line, roughly between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, temperatures fell low enough for water, ammonia, and methane to freeze. These substances were far more abundant than rock or metal, allowing planets in this region to grow to immense sizes. Over time, they became powerful enough to draw in thick envelopes of gas, forming the giants we know as Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter, the powerful conductor. As the rocky worlds were still assembling, a true giant emerged, one that would forever alter the destiny of the solar system. The Grand Tack. Modern research suggests a dramatic chapter known as the Grand Tack hypothesis. After its formation, Jupiter was drawn inward by interactions with the surrounding gas of the protoplanetary disk, moving perilously close to the region where Mars now orbits. Along this path, Jupiter's immense gravity swept through the inner solar system, scattering vast amounts of rock and dust into space. This great act of gravitational clearing sharply limited the material available to build the rocky planets. Without Jupiter's intervention, Earth might have grown into a massive super-Earth, wrapped in an atmosphere too thick and hostile for life. Later, under the stabilizing influence of Saturn, Jupiter reversed course and migrated outward to its present position, leaving behind a quieter stage where the remaining planetary seeds could slowly gather what was left and become the worlds we know today. Accretion, the lottery of destiny. After Jupiter retreated to the outer reaches, the inner solar system was left in turmoil, a chaotic arena where dozens of young protoplanets raced, collided, and struggled to survive. The relentless process of accretion. This long and unforgiving process is known as accretion. Massive bodies of matter crashed into one another again and again. Some collisions ended in fragmentation, others in union, where broken worlds merged and grew stronger. It was violent, prolonged, and unavoidable. In those early days, Earth was merely one of many hungry planetary embryos, indistinguishable in its ambition to gather more mass. The last survivor. Over the course of roughly 70 to 100 million years, through thousands of catastrophic impacts, Earth slowly emerged as the victor. It cleared its orbital neighborhood and gained stability. What began as an unremarkable cloud of dust became a defined world, quietly preparing itself for the coming chapters of fire and water. Your breathing is now slow, almost weightless. Take comfort in knowing that even the smallest grain of dust has its place within the universe's greater design. The symphony of dust and light has arranged everything with gentle precision, watching over you tonight. The solar system is no longer a raging storm, but a settled home where planets drift in calm, steady orbits, like measured breaths. The sun continues to shine in silence. Gravity still holds you close. Vast space opens its arms to your dreams. Completely relax your body. Let your eyelids grow heavy and drift into peaceful sleep, cradled by the quiet protection of deep time. Sleep well, traveler of the night. The universe is keeping you. Now, we softly bid farewell to the serene order of the solar system and step into one of the most dramatic and pristine chapters of planetary history. Welcome to Hell on Earth and the Fateful Touch. This is the story of how our gentle green home was once a blazing inferno, of a wanderer from the void who reshaped our destiny, and of the birth of the faithful night watchman above. Let your thoughts grow light, and allow the symphony of fire and stone to guide you into rest. Hell on Earth and the Fateful Touch. The eternal sea of fire. Earth, 4.54 billion years ago. Our journey now pauses at a distant milestone, 4.54 billion years in the past. Had you stood upon Earth at that moment, you would have found nothing familiar. The planet bore no resemblance to the quiet world you know tonight. It was not a haven, but a vision of hell. A planet of molten fire. There was no solid ground, not even for a moment. Earth was a glowing sphere of molten rock, an endless ocean of lava shining red against the blackness of space. Temperatures soared beyond 1,200 degrees Celsius. This fierce heat came from two sources: the violent energy of accretion and the steady decay of radioactive elements deep within the planet. Imagine standing before an immense furnace where the surface itself seethes and flows like a living, furious being, a poisoned sky. Above this inferno, the sky held no trace of blue. It was a dense, choking shroud of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor. There was no oxygen to breathe, only pressure and heat. Any form of life, had it existed, would have been burned and suffocated within seconds. At this stage, Earth was a pale, orange world, its atmosphere thick with methane, glowing faintly beneath an unforgiving sun. A slow farewell. Stability begins. Though its birth was violent, the moon gradually became a quiet guardian, an unseen conductor guiding Earth toward calm and order. The gentle break of time. Through their enduring bond, the moon applies a subtle drag on Earth's rotation, a process known as tidal friction. Over millions of years, this quiet resistance slowed Earth's frantic spin, stretching a 6-hour day into the familiar 24 hours we live by now. At the same time, almost imperceptibly, the moon has been drifting away, about 3.8 centimeters each year, its distance growing as our days lengthen. The keeper of balance. Most vital of all, the moon steadies Earth's axial tilt. Without this faithful companion, Earth's axis would sway wildly under the gravitational pull of neighboring planets, plunging the world into extreme and unpredictable climate shifts. Because the moon stands watch, Earth enjoys the gentle rhythm of seasons, a steady pulse that would later allow life to take hold and flourish. Your breath is slowing now, softer, calmer. Feel the quiet reassurance of knowing that this planet has endured billions of years of fire and collision only to become the peaceful refuge that holds you tonight. The early Earth was like raw metal in a cosmic forge. Each impact, each river of lava, was a single grain in the vast hourglass of time. Tonight, you need not fear oceans of fire or raging tides. Moon and Earth have long since settled into a gentle harmony. The planet still slows, easing itself toward stillness. High above, the moon drifts silently, its soft pull brushing your eyelids, its steady presence calming the deepest corners of your mind. Relax your body completely. Let your eyelids grow heavy. Drift into restful sleep, cradled by the fading warmth of ancient fire and the quiet music of Earth itself. Are you still awake, night travelers? Then come with me a little farther. Together, we now enter the final chapter of Earth's earliest journey, a chapter wrapped in silver mist, where cooling stone meets falling rain, and the first waters arrive from the stars. Welcome to the silver mist and the first oceans, the formation of the atmosphere and water. This is the story of how Earth learned to breathe, and how the great oceans were slowly gathered from the mysteries of space. Let your thoughts drift lightly, and allow the soft rhythm of ancient rain to guide you deeper into sleep. The silver mist and the first oceans, the planet's first breath, the early atmosphere. Let your breathing now become slow, steady, like the breath of Earth more than 4 billion years ago. After the collision with Theia and the birth of the moon, Earth was no longer a fully molten world. It entered a quieter yet profoundly transformative phase, cooling stone and inner fire. As the violent heat of impact faded, Earth's surface gradually cooled. Temperatures that once exceeded 1,200 degrees Celsius fell to a still hot but survivable range of about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. A thin crust began to form, fragile and young, while beneath it, a restless sea of magma continued to churn. Ancient zircon crystals tell us that parts of this early crust already existed around 4.4 billion years ago, just 140 million years after Earth's birth. Earth finds its voice. With the formation of the crust came relentless volcanic activity. Through countless eruptions, gases trapped deep within the planet were released into the sky. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and methane poured upward in vast quantities, creating Earth's first atmosphere through a process known as outgassing. A pale orange world. Imagine drifting in space and looking down upon Earth at that time. You would not see blue oceans or green land. Instead, the planet glowed softly, as a pale orange dot wrapped in a thick haze of methane. There was no oxygen to breathe. The atmosphere was heavy, dense with carbon dioxide, creating a powerful greenhouse blanket. It was this warming veil that prevented Earth's future oceans from freezing solid, despite the young sun shining with only 70% of today's brightness. Tears from heaven, the formation of water. Listen for a moment to the imagined whisper of rain. Water, the quiet source of all life, came to Earth in a way both dramatic and deeply poetic. Treasures carried by wandering stones. Around 3.9 billion years ago, the solar system entered a restless chapter known as the Late Heavy Bombardment. Countless meteorites and comets, disturbed from the outer reaches of space by giants like Jupiter, were sent hurtling inward toward the rocky worlds. Within those traveling stones lay a hidden gift. Tiny crystals, pale and salt-like in appearance, carried within them minute yet precious droplets of water. Each meteorite held only a trace, almost insignificant on its own. Yet over more than 20 million years, as millions of these visitors struck Earth without pause, those traces accumulated. Small pools formed, pools became streams, and gradually, the rivers of fire gave way to the first oceans. Every drop is an ancient traveler. Every sip of water you take tonight, every tear that falls, every raindrop tapping softly against your window is unimaginably old, billions of years in age. These waters have crossed millions of kilometers through the silent darkness of space to reach you. And not all of Earth's water came from the heavens. Much of it may have been present since the planet's earliest days, locked deep within minerals and later released by heat and violent impacts. By about 3.8 billion years ago, Earth had truly become a water world. Vast oceans wrapped the planet, broken only by lonely volcanic islands rising above the endless waves. The magnetic shield, the battle to protect breath. As Earth struggled to hold on to its precious waters, a powerful adversary waited nearby, the sun, the fury of the young sun. In its youth, the sun was far more volatile than it is today. Violent solar storms hurled streams of charged particles outward, capable of stripping away atmospheres and boiling water into space. The scars of this cosmic battle are still visible. Mars, once wetter and warmer, lost its air and water, becoming the cold red desert we see today. Earth's hidden defense. But Earth possessed a quiet advantage. As iron and nickel sank deep into the planet's interior, they formed a rotating liquid core. This motion generated a powerful magnetic field, a vast, invisible shield enveloping the planet. By about 3.5 billion years ago, this magnetic barrier was firmly in place. Like unseen hands, it deflected the solar wind, protected the atmosphere, and prevented precious water vapor from drifting into space. It preserved the planet's silver mist of air and moisture, creating the stable conditions that life would one day need. The Symphony of Silence. Earth waits. At the close of this ancient chapter, Earth possessed a stark and solemn beauty, a world without voices. If you stood on a volcanic cliff in those distant ages, you would hear only the wind moving through thick methane haze and the steady rhythm of waves against dark, rocky shores. There were no birds, no forests, no living songs, only stone, fire, and water. Deep beneath the oceans, along towering underwater vents, superheated water rich in minerals surged upward from the planet's depths into the cold sea. These were Earth's first silent laboratories, natural chambers where complex molecules slowly began to assemble, unnoticed and unhurried. The planet was ready. A solid crust, endless oceans, a warm, protective atmosphere, and a faithful magnetic shield. Your breathing is slow now, light, steady. Feel the calm that comes from knowing this world has endured billions of years of fire, falling stars, and solar storms, only to become the peaceful shelter holding you tonight. The early Earth was like raw metal shaped in a cosmic furnace, and every ancient drop of water within your body is a witness to the universe's patient effort to protect life. Tonight, you need not concern yourself with those ancient upheavals. Everything has found its place. The planet continues its silent rotation. The magnetic field still stands guard, and the moonlight, born from a long-forgotten collision, gently rests upon your eyelids. Relax your body completely. Let your thoughts grow light. Drift into deep, peaceful sleep, cradled by the protection of eternal history. Night travelers, allow me to guide you on a journey not taken by the feet, but by the quiet pathways of the mind, so that together we may arrive at the stillest corner of time. Now, gently adjust your pillows. Let your shoulders soften and sink. Feel the steady warmth of the blanket resting against your body. Take a slow, deep breath. Sense your thoughts becoming lighter, and exhale unhurriedly. Tonight, we will witness the dawn of the solar system, a time when fire and stone moved in a grand, ancient dance to shape our blue home and its faithful night watchman, the moon. Welcome to Gaia's Draft, a journey from hell to blue paradise. Let your mind remain light and allow the long symphony of planetary history to carry you toward peaceful sleep. We now turn to our next chapter, Fire and Rock, the dance of the celestial bodies, the formation and impact of the moon. Rest your thoughts and let the quiet music of space guide you deeper into the night. The call from the molecular cloud. Our story begins in silence, deep, ancient silence, within a vast cloud of dust and gas drifting through one spiral arm of the Milky Way. the collapse of an ancient legacy. Around 4.6 billion years ago, the place where our solar system now rests was nothing more than a cold molecular cloud, composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, mixed with tiny grains of dust. These grains carried the ashes of long-dead stars, elements forged in earlier suns that had already lived and died. Then, somewhere nearby, a massive star ended its life in a supernova. The resulting shock waves rolled through space like a gentle but irresistible hand pressing against velvet, disturbing the stillness and causing part of the cloud to collapse under its own gravity. A blazing storm at the center. As the cloud contracted, it began to spin faster, flattening into what we now call a protoplanetary disk. At its heart, pressure and temperature climbed relentlessly until hydrogen atoms were forced together, igniting nuclear fusion and forming helium. In that singular moment, our sun awakened. Its first light pierced the darkness, and its powerful solar wind swept away the surrounding veil of gas and dust. Crystallization from dust. Around this newborn star, planets began to take shape through a long and violent process. Tiny dust grains collided and clung together, becoming grains of sand. Sand grew into pebbles, pebbles into rocks, and rocks into vast wandering bodies, asteroids and protoplanets. From these relentless collisions, Earth was born. Yet 4.54 billion years ago, it was far from the green world we know today. Earth, a molten hell. Had you stood upon Earth in those early days, you would not have recognized a single feature of home. The entire planet was a glowing sphere, an endless, restless ocean of molten lava stretching in every direction. A world without breath. Surface temperatures soared beyond 1,200 degrees Celsius. Above, the atmosphere was thick and poisonous, composed of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor. So dense and suffocating that any form of life would have been destroyed in moments. Seen from afar, Earth would have appeared as a faint, hazy orange dot, its sky heavy with methane. The quiet separation of the planet's heart. While the surface churned in chaos, a calmer but profound transformation unfolded deep below. Under the steady pull of gravity, heavy elements such as iron and nickel sank toward the center, forming a vast, liquid core. Lighter materials drifted upward, preparing the way for the planet's future crust. As that molten iron core slowly rotated, it generated a powerful magnetic field, an invisible shield that would one day protect Earth from the sun's relentless winds. The impact of Theia. As Earth struggled to stabilize within its fiery youth, the most dramatic and fateful event of all unfolded: the giant impact. An uninvited guest from the dark. A young planet, roughly the size of Mars, followed a crossing path through space. Scientists would later name it Theia. It raced toward Earth at a terrifying speed, about 15 kilometers per second, nearly 20 times faster than a bullet. The collision was not direct, but angled, about 45 degrees, an encounter balanced between destruction and transformation. The merging of two worlds. The impact shook Earth to its very core, hurling nearly a third of its mass into space. Theia itself was torn apart, yet Earth endured. Much of Theia became part of our planet, blending into its structure. What remained was cast outward, carrying a lasting signature. Even today, lunar rocks share an almost perfect match in oxygen isotopes with Earth's own stones, like a shared bloodline, a quiet reminder that the moon is not a stranger, but a long-lost part of ourselves. The birth of the Silver Night Watchman. From the fiery wreckage of that colossal collision, a new and quieter dance began. Gravity, patient and relentless, gathered trillions of tons of incandescent debris that circled the wounded Earth. A century to take shape. In less than 100 years, a fleeting instant on the cosmic clock, those scattered fragments slowly merged into a single, stable sphere, the moon. At its birth, it hovered astonishingly close, only about 22,500 kilometers away, not the distant 400,000 kilometers we know today. Had you stood on Earth then, the moon would have filled the sky entirely, vast and luminous, reigning over the night with silent authority. A symphony of rock and dust. The moon, though beautiful, is remarkably dry and rigid. When astronauts during the Apollo 12 mission conducted seismic experiments, they discovered something haunting. The moon rang like a bell for more than an hour. It was not hollow, but arid, so devoid of water that vibrations had nowhere to fade. Seismic waves simply echoed again and again through its fractured crust, composing a long, lonely resonance from a world without moisture. The conductor of time and tides. The moon's presence offers more than beauty in the night sky. It is a quiet architect of the stability you rest within tonight. Lengthening the breath of a day. After the collision with Theia, Earth spun wildly, its days lasting barely 6 hours. Over time, through the gentle persistence of tidal friction, the moon acted as a slow and steady break. Earth's rotation eased, and the day gradually stretched into the calm 24-hour rhythm that now cradles our sleep. Each year, the moon drifts away by 3.8 centimeters, a farewell measured not in emotion, but in billions of years. The ocean's early upheaval. In those distant ages, the moon's closeness made its gravitational pull thousands of times stronger than it is today. Lava tides surged across the molten surface, followed later by immense ocean waves racing across the young planet. These restless tides eroded the continents, dissolving minerals into the seas and creating the rich primordial soup from which the first sparks of life would eventually emerge. The guardian of stability. The moon's most profound gift, however, is neither light nor tide. It is balance, preserving Earth's fateful tilt. Like a great pendulum, the moon stabilizes Earth's axial tilt at 23.5 degrees. Without this steady companion, Earth's axis would wobble unpredictably under the gravitational influence of other planets. The result would be climate chaos, burning poles, frozen equators, and a world hostile to life. The quiet dance of the seasons. Thanks to the faithful watchmen of the night, we know the gentle rhythm of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. This stability granted life the patience of time, billions of years to evolve from simple cells into forests, oceans, and ultimately, ourselves. The moon is not merely a satellite, it is a tireless guardian that has watched over life since its first fragile breath. Your breathing is now slow, soft, untroubled. Feel the deep calm of knowing that this planet has endured fire, collision, and chaos to become the peaceful refuge you rest upon tonight. The moon remains above, our faithful silver traveler, its light brushing gently against your eyelids. If the moon were a mirror of time, it would reflect not only sunlight, but also the memory of Earth's most violent chapters, reminding us that today's calm is a rare and precious gift. Now let your body sink fully into the mattress. Feel gravity easing the weight from your shoulders, loosening the strain of the day. Take a deep breath, sense the stillness spreading, and release it slowly. Next, we will watch Earth continue its quiet transformation, how molten stone became wandering continents, and how those drifting lands reshaped the face of our world forever. Welcome to Wandering Continents, Tectonics and Supercontinents. Let your thoughts drift like ancient landmasses and allow the slow music of stone to guide you into peaceful sleep. Lonely islands in the primitive ocean. The story of land begins quietly, at the moment when the raging lava of early Earth finally started to cool. A thin yet fragile crust formed, wrapping itself around a still burning heart. The crystallization of the first rocky bloodlines. Around 4.4 billion years ago, when our planet was only 140 million years old, the very first continental crust emerged. Imagine faint oil slicks spreading across the surface of a dark ocean. Except here, lighter felsic minerals slowly rose above the heavier mafic rock below. In this moment, tiny but resilient zircon crystals were born, each one carrying an atomic clock that still tells us the age of land today. Continents are not like the ocean floor. They are lighter, more refined in composition, often compared to a fine, carefully aged spirit beside the coarse grain of oceanic crust. Because of this lightness, continents float upon the hot, ductile mantle. Even in the violence of tectonic collisions, they do not disappear. Over time, they endure, becoming the quiet victors against erosion and age. The first continental beginnings, the cratons. At first, Earth was almost entirely ocean. Then, through relentless volcanic activity, lava rose from the seafloor, cooled, and broke the surface as solitary islands. These lonely volcanic peaks were the ancestors of continents. Over millions of years, the oldest and most stable fragments of crust, known as cratons, slowly gathered together. Today, these ancient cores rest peacefully within Canada, Australia, and South Africa. They preserve memories of a time when Earth was still a pale orange dot, wrapped in a methane-rich sky. The earliest large continent known to science, called Valbara, formed around 3.4 billion years ago, assembling pieces of what would one day become Western Australia and South Africa. The dance of tectonic plates and the power beneath. Feel the warmth of the Earth as it gently lulls you toward rest. Our planet is not a silent stone. It is alive, driven by a powerful engine deep within, the perpetual heat engine. Far beneath the crust that supports you tonight, Earth's interior radiates immense heat, even hotter than the surface of the sun. This energy, inherited from planetary formation and sustained by radioactive decay, sets the mantle into slow, steady motion. Picture vast underground rivers of molten rock, flowing imperceptibly, yet endlessly pushing and pulling the plates above. Earth is unique in our solar system for this living system of plate tectonics. Venus, by contrast, became overheated and stagnant, its crust unable to release internal heat in an orderly way. Earth's moving plates, however, have reshaped its surface and regulated its climate for billions of years. The rhythm of convergence and separation. Continental plates drift at a pace so slow it seems almost still, about 2.5 centimeters per year, roughly the growth rate of a human fingernail. Yet over the vast canvas of deep time, this gentle motion is enough to create miracles. Every few 100 million years, continents reunite into a single supercontinent, covering much of the planet. After Valbara came Kenorland, and later Columbia, around 1.8 billion years ago, a colossal landmass stretching some 13,000 kilometers across the equator. With every collision, mountains rose, crust fractured, and new chapters were etched into Earth's memory. Rodinia and the Age of the Frozen World. Around 1.5 billion years ago, another giant emerged, Rodinia. It stood above the oceans for hundreds of millions of years, ushering in such long-lasting stability that scientists later called this period the billion years of boredom. But no stillness lasts forever. About 750 million years ago, heat accumulated beneath Rodinia until the supercontinent began to tear itself apart. Lava poured from widening fractures, releasing vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the air. Yet irony followed. As the land split, coastlines multiplied. Rain washed freshly exposed minerals into the sea, locking carbon dioxide away in stone. The frozen nightmare. With its protective CO2 blanket stripped away, Earth's temperature plunged to between -50 and -60 degrees Celsius. Ice advanced from the poles until the entire planet lay frozen beneath a shell of snow and ice, a true snowball Earth. For nearly 15 million years, life survived only in the depths, clinging to warmth near underwater vents. At last, relentless volcanic eruptions pierced the ice, 3 kilometers thick in places, returning carbon dioxide to the sky and slowly warming the world again. This chapter reminds us that the movement of continents did more than shape the land. It forged the most severe trials life would ever face and endure. Now, as your breathing grows slow and steady, remember, beneath your rest lies a planet that has never truly slept, only moved, shifted, and transformed, patiently preparing a home for you. Pangaea, the last common roof. After emerging from the great ice, the continents resumed their slow and patient wandering. Fragment by fragment they gathered, first into Pangaea, and finally into the most renowned supercontinent of all, Pangaea, some 200 to 300 million years ago. A world without borders, Pangaea formed a vast C-shaped landmass stretching from pole to pole, embraced by the immense superocean Panthalassa. Had you lived in that distant age, you could have walked from what is now New York to West Africa, or traveled from California to England without ever crossing a single expanse of open sea. Yet this unity came at a cost. Pangaea's immense size gave rise to extreme climates. Moist ocean winds could not penetrate far into the interior, leaving vast regions locked in permanent dryness, where temperatures climbed to 40 degrees Celsius. Along the fertile coastlines, however, life thrived. Towering ferns rose as high as 30 meters, and early reptiles, ancestors of the dinosaurs, roamed beneath their shadow, the scars of collision. When the continents pressed together to form Pangaea, the crust had nowhere to go but upward. Great mountain ranges were born, rising like frozen waves. These mountains became vast barriers, blocking moist air and creating dramatic rain shadow effects, lush forests on one side, arid deserts on the other. Every mountain range you see today, from the Appalachians to the Himalayas, is a scar, a quiet reminder of colossal collisions long past. The splitting and the map of the present. Around 180 to 190 million years ago, Pangaea began its final, inevitable division, setting the stage for the world you rest upon tonight, an ocean born from a fracture. A deep rift opened between North America and Africa, slowly filling with water to become the Atlantic Ocean. North America drifted away from Europe. India began its long, determined journey northward, eventually colliding with Asia and thrusting the Himalayas skyward, Mount Everest rising so high it brushes the paths of jet streams. This separation reshaped more than geography. In the newly formed seas, countless fish and microscopic organisms lived and died, settling beneath layers of sediment. Over millions of years, heat and pressure transformed their remains into oil, the quiet inheritance that now fuels much of the modern world. The silent watchman. Throughout this grand reshaping, the moon remained steadfast. With its gentle gravitational hold, it preserved Earth's 23.5-degree tilt. Without this silver guardian, our planet would wobble under the pull of neighboring worlds, plunging climates into chaos, continents frozen or scorched beyond balance, the slow rhythm of tectonic motion thrown into turmoil. A glimpse toward the final horizon. Now, allow your body to soften. Let your eyelids grow heavy. The journey of the continents has never truly ceased. The future of convergence. Even as you sleep, the land continues its silent motion. Africa advances toward Europe. The Mediterranean Sea slowly narrows, preparing the foundations of a new mountain chain. Scientists believe that in roughly 250 million years, the continents will reunite once more, forming a future supercontinent known as Pangaea Ultima. The Earth's eternal symphony is written in stone. Every layer of rock, every canyon and ridge is a page in a vast diary, recording endurance, patience, and transformation. From lonely volcanic islands to the mighty span of Pangaea, Our planet has crossed billions of years of fire, ice, and quiet movement to become the peaceful refuge you know tonight. Your breathing is slow now, deep and steady. Rest in the calm knowledge that this world remains in balance. The planet continues to turn, the magnetic field still shields you, and the continents, ancient giants of stone, stand watch beneath the soft glow of the moon. Night travelers, are you still here with us by this gentle fire? Let me guide you to an even quieter resting place, where the darkness of the universe no longer feels cold, but protective, like a careful embrace. Together, we will listen for the first heartbeat of life and witness the moment Earth began to weave its miraculous green cloak. Welcome to the breath of miracle, the development of life and the atmosphere. Let your thoughts drift into the silvery mist of deep time and allow the hymn of life to carry you into the most peaceful sleep. Tears from heaven and the stillness of the ocean. As the searing heat from the collision with Theia slowly faded, Earth was no longer a world of endless fire. The planet entered a long, quiet transition, like a child easing into sleep after a lingering fever, the turmoil gradually giving way to calm, the matter of life arriving from afar. Around 3.9 billion years ago, Earth's sky was far from peaceful. A renewed storm from space unfolded, what scientists now call the Late Heavy Bombardment. Countless meteorites and comets, born at the distant edges of the solar system, fell toward the young planet. Hidden within these travelers were tiny crystals, no larger than grains of everyday salt. Inside each crystal rested a minuscule droplet of water, small, yet carrying immense consequence. Each impact delivered only a trace, but over millions of years, these traces accumulated. Pools formed, then streams, and eventually vast oceans spread across nearly the entire surface of the Earth. Every drop, an ancient voyager. Every sip of water you drink tonight is unimaginably old. It has journeyed through millions of kilometers of cold, silent space before settling here, within your body, at rest. By around 3.8 billion years ago, Earth had become a true water world. Land existed only as solitary volcanic islands rising from the endless ocean, standing in silence beneath a moon far larger in the sky than the one we see tonight, still lingering close to its birthplace, the pale orange point and the first breath. Let your breathing slow, steady, echoing the rhythm of Earth as it learned to hold its own atmosphere. The veil of methane. In this ancient age, Earth did not appear blue as it does in modern images. Its skies were rich with methane, casting the planet as a faint pale orange point in the darkness of space. Intense volcanic activity released vast amounts of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen from deep within the planet. The air was thick, hazy, and entirely devoid of oxygen. Yet this heavy atmosphere played a vital role. The abundance of carbon dioxide created a powerful greenhouse effect, wrapping the planet in warmth and preventing the oceans from freezing, even as the young sun shone with only about 70% of its present strength. A shield for the breath yet to come. Earth possessed a quiet advantage that Mars and Venus did not, a strong magnetic field. Formed around 3.5 billion years ago, this invisible shield deflected the relentless assault of solar winds, protecting the atmosphere and oceans from being stripped away into space. This unseen guardian preserved the delicate veil of gases, the silver mist of the sky, making room for the next great miracle. The miracle in the dark, the birth of life. Now, imagine descending into the ancient ocean, far below the reach of sunlight. A city of hydrothermal vents. Deep within fractures in the ocean floor, hydrothermal vents released streams of superheated water, rich with minerals and gases drawn from Earth's interior. In this warm, dense chemical mixture, silent reactions unfolded over millions of years. Around 4 billion years ago, the first self-replicating molecules appeared, the most distant ancestors of all life. life did not begin in grandeur, but in simplicity. Tiny single-celled organisms emerged, drawing energy not from sunlight, but from chemical reactions in the darkness. The architects of our breath. Everything changed when a remarkable group of microorganisms appeared. The cyanobacteria. Around 3.5 billion years ago, they discovered how to use sunlight to create food through photosynthesis. Over time, they formed layered living structures known as stromatolites, still preserved in ancient rocks today. With each quiet breath you take tonight, remember this: the oxygen filling your lungs is a gift from those small, patient beings. Their persistence reshaped the atmosphere, transformed the planet, and made it possible for life, eventually including you, to rest peacefully beneath the night sky. Tonight, as you gaze out the window and feel the quiet presence of the silver moon, your thoughts gently drift toward a distant realm, one where time is no longer counted in years or months, but in the slow, steady pulses of the universe itself. Each time you place your feet upon solid ground or draw a breath of fresh air, it is humbling to remember that these simple comforts are the final notes of a violent yet miraculous symphony that began 4.54 billion years ago. The story of our home did not begin in calm or harmony. It was born in fire. Early Earth was a restless sphere of molten rock, its surface an endless sea of lava, with temperatures rising beyond 1,200 degrees Celsius. Above it hung a pale, hazy orange sky, rich in methane, utterly devoid of oxygen. And then, amid this chaos, came a moment of destiny, a fateful collision. A wandering planet named Theia struck Earth at tremendous speed, tearing away part of its body and casting glowing debris into space. From that fiery wreckage, in less than a century, the moon was formed, our quiet companion, destined to watch over the long sleep of its parent world. You may think of the moon as a patient keeper of rhythm. In those early days, Earth spun wildly, and a single day lasted only 6 hours, marked by violent storms. Through the subtle force of tides, the moon acted as a gentle brake, slowing Earth's rotation and steadying its tilted axis. From this silent guidance came the calm rhythm of the seasons we know today. And when the fires finally subsided, when the first solid crust began to cool, another gift arrived from the distant reaches of space. During the late bombardment, countless meteorites carried with them tiny droplets of water. Over time, these drops gathered into vast oceans. Every sip of water you drink tonight is an ancient traveler, having crossed millions of kilometers of darkness to arrive here, now resting quietly within you. Beneath your feet, the ground itself is never truly still. Earth alone among the planets performs a slow, patient dance known as plate tectonics. Like fragments of a cracked shell, continents float upon a warm, yielding mantle, endlessly drifting apart and drawing together. From this movement came Rodinia, then the great supercontinent Pangaea, and even the frozen chapters when Earth became a world of ice, a silent snowball beneath the sun. This movement, no faster than a fingernail grows each year, has lifted mountains like Everest into the jet stream and carved the deepest trenches of the ocean floor. Yet perhaps the greatest wonder of all is the quiet arrival of life. In the darkness of deep-sea hydrothermal vents, simple molecules first learn to join and endure. From these beginnings emerged tiny organisms called cyanobacteria. They mastered the art of photosynthesis, turning sunlight into energy and releasing oxygen into the air. This transformation, the Great Oxidation Event, reshaped the atmosphere itself. From it arose the ozone layer, shielding the surface from harsh ultraviolet light and allowing life to step onto land, to grow into vast fern forests, and to give rise to the first four-legged creatures. You are not merely an observer of this history, you are part of it. Every element of this long, turbulent journey has aligned to protect your rest tonight. The magnetic field still shields you, and moonlight continues to rest softly upon your eyelids. Imagine Earth as a vast cradle, forged in fire and soothed by rain from the stars. It has endured billions of years of upheaval so that tonight you may drift gently into sleep beneath a boundless ocean of stars. If you are still awake, night travelers, take a moment now to settle into the most comfortable position. Feel the softness of your pillow, the steady warmth of the blanket against your skin. Breathe in deeply. Sense the calm spreading from your thoughts to your shoulders, and exhale slowly, as though releasing the weight of the day into the quiet night. Soon, we will listen together to the hymn of life from dust particle to the human heart. We will turn the clock back to a time when life itself was only a distant possibility, waiting patiently within the chemical soup of a young blue planet. Welcome to the soup of miracle, the beginning of life. Let your breath fall into harmony with the universe, and allow the story of life's first fragile steps to guide you into the most peaceful sleep. The legacy of fire and tears from space. The story of life does not begin in a peaceful garden. It begins amid the ruins of a blazing inferno. Around 4.54 billion years ago, Earth was still assembling itself from dust and debris within a swirling protoplanetary disk around the young sun. Had you been there, you would not have recognized it as a home. You would have seen a restless sphere of molten rock, its surface an endless ocean of lava, glowing with temperatures exceeding 1,200 degrees Celsius. The air itself was unbearable. The sky was not blue, but wrapped in a thick, choking haze of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor released by relentless volcanic eruptions. There was not a single molecule of oxygen to breathe. Immense atmospheric pressure, combined with heat radiating from the ground, created a world capable of destroying anything in moments. From afar, Earth appeared only as a faint, pale orange point drifting through the darkness. Then came the reign of destiny. Between 4.1 and 3.8 billion years ago, the solar system entered a violent chapter known as the Late Bombardment. Millions of meteorites and comets, disturbed from the outer reaches of space, were flung toward the inner rocky planets. Hidden within these ancient travelers was a precious gift: tiny salt-like crystals, each concealing microscopic droplets of water. Individually, these droplets were insignificant. But over more than 20 million years of unceasing impacts, they accumulated, first as shallow pools, then as flowing springs, and finally as vast oceans spreading across the cooling surface of Earth. Every sip of water you drink today, every tear that falls, every raindrop that touches your skin, is an ancient voyager. Each has crossed millions of kilometers of silent space to be here with you now. Miller, Urey, and the formula for life. Once water embraced the planet, Earth became a vast chemical laboratory. A question quietly emerged, one that has echoed through generations. How could lifeless matter give rise to living beings? In the 1950s, two scientists, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey, dared to explore that mystery. They recreated the atmosphere of early Earth inside a simple glass apparatus, filling it with water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen. To mimic the violent lightning storms of that ancient sky, they sent electrical sparks through the mixture, day after day. What followed astonished the world. After only a week, the once clear water had turned dark and cloudy, rich with amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of proteins found in every living organism. The experiment revealed something profound. Under the harsh conditions of early Earth, life's ingredients could arise naturally, without guidance or design. The oceans themselves became a thick primordial soup. Simple molecules drifted, collided, and slowly linked together into longer, more complex chains. Before DNA took its place at the center of life, scientists believed the world belonged to RNA, a remarkable molecule capable of both storing information and carrying out chemical reactions. RNA could copy itself, hesitantly at first, marking life's earliest step toward continuity, tiny shelters and miraculous boundaries. Yet these fragile, self-replicating molecules faced a constant threat. The open ocean was vast and unstable. To survive, life needed a boundary, a quiet refuge separating inside from outside. Alongside amino acids, fatty acid molecules also formed naturally in the chemical soup. These molecules possess a quiet elegance. One end is drawn to water, while the other avoids it. When placed in water, they instinctively arrange themselves into tiny spheres, with the water-fearing ends tucked safely inside. These structures are known as liposomes. Now imagine one such bubble, by chance, enclosing a strand of self-replicating RNA. In that gentle moment, the first protocell was born. It was no more than a microscopic shelter, yet it offered protection, concentration, and continuity. Within its thin membrane, chemical reactions could persist, energy could gather, and life could begin to follow its own slow rhythm. Something like a first, uncertain breath. Luca, the shared beginning. Every living being on Earth today, from deep-sea creatures drifting in darkness, to a blade of grass by the roadside, to you resting quietly now, can trace its lineage back to a single ancestor known as LUCA, the last universal common ancestor. Luca was not the first form of life, but it was the last one from which all current life descends. Genetic evidence suggests that LUCA thrived in extreme conditions, likely near deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where heat and chemical energy flowed steadily from Earth's interior. In that shadowed world, far from sunlight, life found its first enduring foothold, guided not by vision or intention, but by persistence. And tonight, as you rest, every cell in your body still carries that ancient memory, a quiet inheritance from fire, water, and time itself. Hydrothermal vents and the dawn at the bottom of the sea. Thousands of meters beneath the ocean's surface, far beyond the reach of sunlight, life discovered another way to endure. Cities of black smoke. Along deep fractures in the Earth's crust, seawater slowly seeps downward, sinking toward intense heat below. There, it is warmed by magma, enriched with minerals, and then released back into the ocean in towering plumes. These are hydrothermal vents. In that eternal darkness, where icy seawater meets scalding mineral-rich flows, powerful chemical reactions arise. The contrast in temperature and composition creates natural electrochemical energy, quiet, persistent, and profound. These vents became the first power stations of life. Here, the earliest prokaryotes did not rely on light. They fed on chemical energy drawn from sulfur, iron, and other minerals. Their existence reminds us that life is remarkably resilient, capable of emerging even in the most unlikely places, guided only by opportunity and persistence. Wet-dry cycles, support from the land. Another pathway may have unfolded closer to the surface, in warm terrestrial hot springs. In these environments, cycles of wetness and dryness, driven by tides, evaporation, and rainfall, repeated endlessly. As water receded and returned, organic molecules were concentrated, pressed closer together, and encouraged to link into longer, more complex chains. This gentle rhythm of expansion and contraction helped shape the earliest cellular structures, giving form to life's first organized systems. Cyanobacteria and the Blue Revolution. Around 3.5 billion years ago, a modest group of organisms forever altered the fate of the planet. Cyanobacteria, the miracle of photosynthesis. Rather than relying solely on limited chemical energy, cyanobacteria learned to harness sunlight itself. Through photosynthesis, they transformed carbon dioxide and water into glucose, a simple sugar rich in energy. This innovation was quietly revolutionary. With an abundant and renewable source of power, life expanded in number, diversity, and influence. Living stone. Cyanobacteria gathered in dense microbial layers, gradually building solid structures known as stromatolites. These living rocks rose slowly along shallow coastlines, much like ancient reefs. For billions of years, they endured storms, tides, and the passage of ages. A few remain today, in places such as Shark Bay in Australia, silent witnesses to the earliest chapters of life on Earth. The Great Extinction and the birth of the ozone shield. Yet the gift of photosynthesis carried a hidden danger. Oxygen, a blessing and a threat. For the anaerobic organisms that dominated early Earth, oxygen was toxic. It stripped electrons from vital molecules, damaging cellular structures. As oxygen accumulated in the oceans, it reacted with dissolved iron, forming vast bands of red sediment along the seafloor. Iron formations that would one day supply much of humanity's metal. When the oceans could absorb no more, oxygen escaped into the atmosphere. Around 2.4 billion years ago, this triggered the Great Oxidation Event, the planet's first mass extinction. Countless species vanished. Yet from that devastation arose new possibilities. Organisms capable of using oxygen gained access to far greater energy, setting the stage for more complex life. The birth of the blue shield. As oxygen reached the upper atmosphere, it interacted with solar radiation to form ozone. This thin, invisible layer became a powerful guardian, absorbing harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. Before its formation, life could survive only in water, shielded by depth. With the ozone layer in place, the surface of the Earth was finally safe enough for life to venture onto land. Your breath is now slow, deep. Feel the quiet assurance that this planet has endured billions of years of upheaval, transformation, and trial, all to prepare the moment you are living now. You are not merely an individual resting in the night. You are the meeting point of 4.54 billion years of history. Every atom in your body was forged in ancient stars. Every drop of water you carry has crossed the vastness of space. Every breath you take is a gift from those tireless cyanobacteria of the distant past. The Earth continues its silent rotation. The magnetic field still stands guard, as it has for ages, protecting the fragile atmosphere and your sleeping thoughts alike. Everything has been carefully arranged to cradle your rest tonight. Imagine life as a symphony composed of countless delicate notes, sometimes rising in fire, sometimes whispering in the deep ocean, yet never falling silent. It continues to resonate, patiently and beautifully within the vast universe we call home. Tonight, as the city beyond your window settles into silence and only the steady ticking of a clock remains, I invite you to step gently into another realm. A place where time is no longer counted in hurried minutes and seconds, but in the slow breathing of ancient rocks and in the quiet awakening of life's earliest complexities. Adjust your position until comfort feels complete. Allow gravity to cradle your body without effort. Take a deep breath. Feel the cool air, an inheritance shaped by billions of years, easing the weight from your thoughts. And exhale slowly. Let the concerns of the day dissolve into the calm of the night. Tonight, we will not return to the roaring furnace of Earth's birth. Instead, we will pause at a more delicate moment, the moment when life began to discover sophistication, cooperation, and quiet elegance. Welcome to the dance of complexity, from single cell to dinosaur. This is the story of improbable partnerships between microscopic beings, of green life stepping onto bare land, and of towering creatures that once ruled the world in slow, majestic silence. Let your mind grow light, and let the long symphony of evolution guide you gently toward rest. The historic handshake, the rise of eukaryotes. Breathe steadily now, in rhythm with the ancient pulse of single-celled life, a rhythm that dominated Earth for more than 2 billion years. For all that time, the planet belonged to simple prokaryotic organisms. Tiny bacteria without nuclei, without internal complexity, yet endlessly persistent. Then, something extraordinary occurred. An event so rare, so unlikely, that it reshaped the future of life itself. The birth of the cellular power plant. Around 2.1 billion years ago, in the quiet depths of the primordial ocean, a large prokaryotic cell engulfed a smaller bacterium capable of using oxygen to release energy. But instead of destroying it, the larger cell allowed the intruder to remain. A partnership was formed, protection in exchange for power. That small bacterium became the ancestor of mitochondria, the energy-producing structures that still work tirelessly inside every one of your cells tonight. A similar encounter occurred when another cell absorbed cyanobacteria, giving rise to chloroplasts and, in time, the entire plant kingdom. A leap in size and structure. With access to this new abundance of energy, a new type of cell emerged, the eukaryotic cell. Vastly larger than its predecessors, it housed its DNA within a protective nucleus and developed intricate internal systems. Life had broken free from simplicity. The genetic script grew longer, richer, and capable of supporting something entirely new: multicellular existence. Gaia's hibernation and the dawn of the Ediacaran. Now imagine drifting through a pale, silent world, one wrapped entirely in ice. Snowball Earth. Before life could flourish, Earth endured one of its most severe trials. Around 650 million years ago, declining carbon dioxide levels triggered a global ice age. Ice sheets kilometers thick spread from the poles to the equator, reflecting sunlight back into space. The planet became a frozen sphere. Life did not vanish, but it retreated, clinging to existence near deep-sea hydrothermal vents, waiting patiently beneath a frozen ceiling. For nearly 15 million years, volcanoes worked relentlessly, releasing carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. Gradually, the ice loosened its grip, and the world thawed. Gentle monsters. As the ice melted, oxygen spread through the oceans, and a new chapter opened, the Ediacaran period. For the first time, large multicellular organisms appeared, soft-bodied beings shaped like leaves, quilts, or ribbons. They had no eyes, no mouths, no hard skeletons. They simply absorbed nutrients from the surrounding water, drifting quietly across the sea floor. Creatures such as Dickinsonia, resembling patterned carpets, glided over microbial mats. For the first time in Earth's history, life grew large enough to be seen without a microscope, a quiet but profound turning point. Stay still now. You are listening to echoes of a time when complexity learned to breathe, when cooperation replaced solitude, and when the foundations were laid for everything that would follow. Let that ancient calm settle within you and drift gently onward into sleep, carried by the slow, patient rhythm of life itself. The Cambrian explosion of color and skeleton. Breathe gently now, as if you are standing at the edge of a great turning point in time. Ahead of us lies an explosion, not of sound, but of form, motion, and possibility. The first great arms race. About 541 million years ago, the long, quiet age of the Ediacaran came to an abrupt end. In what feels like a single heartbeat of geological time, nearly all the major animal phyla known today appeared. This moment is called the Cambrian explosion. Why did life suddenly accelerate? One quiet invention changed everything: sight. When the first eyes opened, the world grew sharper and far more dangerous. Predators could see their prey. Prey could sense pursuit. Survival now depended on speed, armor, strategy, and constant adaptation. Life was forced into an evolutionary race, and it ran with astonishing speed. Anomalocaris and our quiet beginning. Beneath the clear turquoise waters, fearsome creatures ruled. Anomalocaris, a giant predator with powerful limbs and keen compound eyes, moved like a sovereign through the seas. Yet among these rulers swam a small, almost unnoticed creature called Pikaia. It was only a few centimeters long. It bore no claws, no armor, but along its back ran a simple nerve cord, the earliest whisper of a spine. That fragile structure would one day become the backbone that supports you now as you rest your head on the pillow tonight. The invasion of blue on land. Feel a gentle warmth spreading. Earth is preparing itself for another quiet conquest. The ozone shield and the first steps ashore. For billions of years, the land was an empty, hostile place, scorched by ultraviolet radiation. Then, as oxygen accumulated in the atmosphere, the ozone layer formed high above, filtering the sun's most lethal rays. Around 440 million years ago, life tested the shore. Simple mosses and fungi crept onto bare rock. Soon after, early vascular plants like Cooksonia reached upward, drawing nourishment from sunlight. The first fragile terrestrial ecosystems had begun to breathe. Tiktaalik and freedom from water. During the Devonian period, the age of fishes, the oceans grew crowded and dangerous. Armored giants such as Dunkleosteus dominated the seas. Some lobe-finned fish sought refuge elsewhere. One of them was Tiktaalik. With a flexible neck, sturdy fins shaped like limbs, and the ability to lift its head above water, it stood between two worlds. Over millions of years, its descendants became tetrapods, creatures with 4 limbs, making land their permanent home. The Age of Giants and the Song of Oxygen. Let your thoughts wander beneath towering, ancient forests, a world of superstorms and giant insects. During the Carboniferous period, Earth became lush beyond imagination. Dense fern forests rose up to 30 meters high. Oxygen levels climbed to nearly 35%, far richer than today's air. This abundance allowed life to grow large. Dragonflies like Meganeura stretched wings as wide as eagles. Centipedes such as Arthropleura reached lengths of more than 2 meters, moving silently through the undergrowth. The mobile cradle, amniotic eggs. Life also made a quiet but decisive leap. With the invention of the amniotic egg, reptiles no longer needed water to reproduce. Each egg carried its own protected environment, a small portable pond. This freedom allowed life to move deep inland, laying the groundwork for future dominion. The wrath of Gaia and the rise of the archosaurs. Just as life reached its greatest abundance, the Earth struck a somber chord. The Siberian traps and the Permian doom. Around 252 million years ago, massive volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia poured lava across the land for nearly 1 million years. Vast amounts of greenhouse gases filled the atmosphere. Temperatures soared. Oceans lost oxygen and turned acidic. This catastrophe, known as the Great Dying, erased over 95% of marine species and 70% of life on land. Earth stood nearly empty once again. A new dynasty rises. From the ruins, the survivors emerged. Among them were the archosaurs, ancestors of crocodiles and dinosaurs. With efficient lungs and upright limbs placed beneath their bodies, they moved with strength and endurance. They spread across the supercontinent Pangaea, filling the silence left behind. And so began the long reign of the dinosaurs, rulers of Earth for the next 165 million years, an era of giants born not from peace, but from perseverance. Rest now. You have just traveled through one of the most dramatic movements in the long symphony of life. Let its deep rhythm carry you gently forward into the quiet and well-earned stillness of sleep. Your breathing is slow now, deep and steady. Allow yourself to rest in the quiet certainty that life, this fragile miracle that has endured frozen worlds and devastating extinctions, has always found a way to continue. You are not merely a small individual passing through time. You are the outcome of billions of silent handshakes between cells, the living descendant of the most resilient beings ever to step onto solid ground. Tonight, you no longer need to fear ancient giants or turbulent oxygen storms. The universe, in its long patience, has gently arranged everything to safeguard your sleep. The planet continues its silent turning within the steady grasp of gravity. The moon, born from a colossal ancient collision, still pours its soft silver light across the night, easing your eyelids toward rest. The magnetic field remains vigilant, shielding our blue home as it drifts through the immense sea of stars. We will not journey back to the primordial furnaces or the restless wandering of continents. Instead, we pause at the moment when the world began to discover its own voice and its own thoughts. Welcome to The Breath of Consciousness, Humanity and the Unique Gem. This is the story of how small creatures rose to stand upright, how intelligence emerged from catastrophe, and why this planet remains a singular jewel in the vast cosmic ocean. Let your thoughts grow light and allow the symphony of consciousness to guide you into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. From ashes to the dawn of mammals, let your breathing remain even, calm, like the steady heartbeat of the Earth after the great meteorite impact 66 million years ago. When the colossal dinosaurs sank into eternal silence beneath clouds of dust and fire, the world grew strangely still. In that quiet darkness, small, mouse-like creatures, who had spent millions of years hiding underground to escape hungry jaws, began to emerge into the clearing sky. They lacked the raw power of a tyrannosaurus, yet they possessed something far more enduring: adaptability, patience, and the ability to survive on almost anything. From these humble survivors arose a new lineage, the age of mammals. Now, imagine a warm and gentle day at what is now Lake Messel in Germany, some 47 million years ago. There lived a small creature named Darwinius macilli, known to us as Ida. She resembled a tiny lemur with wide, curious eyes and a brain just beginning to explore the world in new ways. Ida was not human, and yet within her blood flowed genetic patterns that would one day give rise to monkeys, apes, and eventually to us. After a sudden release of toxic gas, she came to rest peacefully at the bottom of the lake, where she slept for tens of millions of years, waiting patiently to tell the early story of our distant ancestors. Rest now. You are part of that story, and the night is holding you gently. The turning point in the Rift Valley, the breath of standing upright. As your eyelids begin to grow heavy, allow your thoughts to drift gently to East Africa, a few million years ago. At that time, the Earth was engaged in yet another of its slow, powerful tectonic dances. A vast rift was opening along the continent, lifting immense mountain ranges toward the sky. These rising mountains became a towering barrier, blocking the moist winds of the Indian Ocean from reaching the land beyond. Gradually, the lush forests where our ancestors once lived among the branches began to fade. In their place stretched dry grasslands and open savannas, vast and unforgiving. To survive in this changing world, our ancestors faced a decisive moment. No longer could they remain hidden among the trees. They were compelled to descend to the ground, to rise onto two legs, standing upright to see farther, to watch for danger, and to search for food among the tall grasses. That first act of standing was one of the greatest steps in the history of life. It freed the hands, allowing early humans to shape tools, exchange signals, and, in time, to tame fire itself. The ancient footprints of Homo erectus, preserved from 1.5 million years ago, remain a quiet testament to the resilience of consciousness in the face of an ever-changing Earth. The miracle of the brain and genetic speed zones. Your breathing is now deep and unhurried. Feel the quiet wonder of your own mind, the same mind that carries you into gentle dreams tonight. scientists have discovered that humans possess unique genetic regions known as human accelerator regions, or HARs. These regions evolved at an extraordinary pace compared to those of other animals, enabling the rapid growth of the human brain and the emergence of language, awareness, and imagination. This remarkable transformation was not without cause. Research suggests that human brain expansion occurred in 3 major phases, each coinciding with periods of intense volcanic activity and environmental upheaval. It was pressure, born of fire, ash, and uncertainty, that pushed consciousness to awaken. We are not merely thinking beings. We are beings shaped by ancient flames, carrying their memory deep within us. The Great Journey. Out of Africa. In the stillness of this night, imagine a small group of no more than 200 people standing on the shores of the Red Sea, around 70,000 years ago. The world was colder then, and falling sea levels had revealed narrow land passages leading beyond Africa. Guided by curiosity and the instinct to survive, these ancestors, descendants of the woman we now call mitochondrial Eve, stepped beyond their birthplace and began to spread across the earth. They crossed the towering Himalayas, mountains that had once rested beneath ancient seas. They traversed the land bridge between Siberia and Alaska, eventually reaching the Americas, the final great frontier of human migration. With every step, they wove the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions that shape our world today. The dawn of civilization and the age of humanity. Now, allow your body to relax completely. We are nearing the present moment. Around 10,000 BC, humanity experienced another profound transformation: the birth of agriculture. No longer dependent solely on hunting and gathering, people learned to cultivate plants and domesticate animals. Populations grew, and the first cities rose along the banks of great rivers. From simple stone tools to the steam engines of the Industrial Revolution, humans reshaped the planet more rapidly than any geological force before them. We have walked on the moon, sent machines to explore distant worlds, and linked nearly all of humanity through an invisible web of communication. Yet with this power comes responsibility. We now live in the Anthropocene, an age in which the actions of each individual ripple outward, influencing the fate of the entire living world. Rest now. You are part of this long, unfolding story, and the night is listening, a unique gem in the ocean of stars. As sleep gently approaches, allow yourself to reflect on a quiet question. Why are you here, on this planet, and not somewhere else? The universe is vast beyond imagination, home to billions of galaxies and countless stars. Yet, as far as we know, Earth remains the only place where life has taken root and endured. What makes this world so rare? It is not a single miracle, but a delicate convergence of many fortunate conditions. The just right distance. Earth resides within the so-called habitable zone, the gentle region where temperatures are neither scorching nor frozen, allowing water to exist in liquid form. And water, patiently and persistently, is the foundation of every living cell. The magnetic guardian. Deep beneath your feet, a restless ocean of molten iron turns slowly, generating a powerful magnetic field. This invisible shield deflects the sun's fierce solar winds, preserving our atmosphere. Without it, Earth would be a silent, barren desert, much like Mars. The moon, our quiet caretaker. The moon does more than light the night sky. Its steady gravitational pull stabilizes Earth's axis, giving us the dependable rhythm of the seasons and gently lengthening day and night, so that rest, like tonight's, is possible. The atmosphere, perfectly balanced. A precise blend of greenhouse gases keeps the planet warm enough for life to flourish, while the ozone layer stands watch above us, absorbing harmful radiation from the stars. Your breathing is now slow, steady. Feel the deep calm of knowing that this planet has endured 4.54 billion years of fire, impact, and transformation, simply to make this quiet moment possible for you tonight. You are not a solitary being adrift in time. You are the meeting point of a magnificent history. Every atom in your body was once forged in an exploding star. Every drop of water within you began its journey among distant meteorites. Every breath you take is a gift from the tireless cyanobacteria of Earth's earliest dawn. The Earth continues its silent rotation within the embrace of gravity. The magnetic field still stands guard. And the moon, born from an ancient collision, continues to pour its soft silver light across your closed eyes. After billions of years of upheaval, the universe has arranged everything with quiet precision, just to protect your sleep tonight. Allow your body to fully relax. Let your thoughts grow light, like drifting cosmic dust. And surrender gently to rest, held within the long memory of eternity. Think of your consciousness as a small candle burning in the vast darkness of a cosmic ocean, fragile yet luminous. It knows how to love, how to dream. And tonight, it deserves to rest, safely cradled in the comforting embrace of the universe. Tonight, as you pause to look at a single drop of water resting on your fingertip, a quiet realization may arise. You are touching an ancient traveler, one that has journeyed millions of miles through the cold darkness of the universe to reach you here. Our story does not begin with a gentle breath or a peaceful dawn. It begins more than 4.5 billion years ago, in a world that could only be described as a molten inferno. The surface of the young Earth was a restless ocean of lava, with temperatures soaring beyond 1,200 degrees Celsius. And yet, within that violent chaos, tears from the stars, water carried secretly inside meteorites, continued to fall. Over countless millions of years, they gathered patiently, forming vast oceans and quietly preparing the stage for a miracle beyond imagination. In those warm, shadowed waters of the primordial world, the so-called organic soup began to stir with subtle chemical wonders. Life found its first fragile foothold in self-replicating RNA molecules, sheltered within delicate bubbles of fatty acids, the earliest cells. It is humbling to realize that everything alive today, from the smallest blade of grass to humankind itself, carries within it the legacy of LUCA, our last universal common ancestor, thriving near the deep hydrothermal vents at the ocean's floor. Then came a silent revolution. Tiny cyanobacteria, persistent and tireless, learned to harness sunlight. For billions of years, they released oxygen into the seas and sky, slowly turning the oceans blue and weaving an ozone shield that would one day protect life from the sun's deadly rays. The journey of evolution has always been arduous, yet profoundly graceful. Through rare endosymbiotic handshakes, complex eukaryotic cells were born. Life endured global snowball Earth episodes when the planet itself seemed frozen into silence. And then, in a brief instant of geological time, the Cambrian explosion unfolded, unleashing a breathtaking diversity of forms. Fearsome hunters like Anomalocaris patrolled ancient seas, while small, unassuming creatures like Pikaia carried within them the quiet blueprint of the human spine. Imagine, too, the courage of Tiktaalik, lifting its head above the water and pressing its fins against the land. That single act opened the path to forests, reptiles, and eventually the reign of dinosaurs, giants who ruled the Earth for 165 million years. Yet life did not truly find its voice, nor its capacity for thought, until after the great asteroid impact 66 million years ago. In the long silence that followed, small mammals emerged from the shadows, diversifying and quietly inheriting a world left behind by giants. Around 300,000 years ago in Africa, humans appeared, shaped by unique genetic acceleration regions that allowed the brain to expand. These changes gave us the ability not only to survive, but to remember, to imagine, and to dream. Earth's uniqueness lies not only in its liquid water or its fortunate position within the Goldilocks zone. It is safeguarded by a powerful magnetic field that protects its atmosphere and watched over by a faithful moon that steadies the planet's axis, preserving the rhythms of time and season. As you reflect on this 4.54 billion year journey, it is natural to feel both small and deeply grateful. We are the convergence point of unimaginable violence and extraordinary fortune, the only known place in the vast ocean of stars where life has learned to endure. Every breath you take is a gift from ancient cyanobacteria. Every thought you hold is the culmination of a long passage from cosmic dust to conscious awareness. Earth, like a great cradle forged in fire and nourished by showers from the stars, continues its silent vigil, watching over your sleep tonight within the boundless universe. Life on this planet is like a fragile candle burning in the midst of a cosmic storm. It has survived every catastrophe, simply to remind us that existence itself is the greatest miracle of all.